crafts and some fun little projects, as you can see in front of me on the table. And they're all, I don't know if you can maybe take a guess what's inspired them, but they're all bunny themed in honor of the holiday coming up this coming weekend. That's right, Easter. So we have our very own Easter bunny here with me. Her name's Maybe, and she's a beautiful little girl, a little camera shy, but she's going to be helping me make all these fun projects today. So we'll start off with some little hand bunnies, and then we'll move on to some paper tube bunnies, and then for our final little project for the day, we'll be doing a bunny mask of our own so we can enjoy the rabbit festivities as well. So I hope you guys are all having fun and staying safe, and let's get started with some really fun projects. Okay, so for this first project, what we're going to do is we're going to make these fun little hand bunnies, and I'll show you guys how they're really easy and really fun. So, what you want to do first is hey everyone! So for this first project, what we're going to do is we're going to be making some lovely little hand bunnies. These are really easy and really fun and really quick to do. So now first, before we get started, what we'll need is paper, a pencil, some colored pencils or markers or crayons, whatever you want to color with, a marker, and some scissors. Now, first step, I'm going to move everything to the side that I don't need. What I need right now is my paper and my pencil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand on my paper and trace it. Now, this is just like you would trace if you're making a little hand turkey for Thanksgiving, or a little star or starfish or something like that. And make sure that you spread your fingers out a good bit so they aren't too close together. So once I finish, I'm going to lift my hand up and just finish off my little hand at the bottom right there. So next, I'll need my scissors. And now I'm just going to cut my hand out. And remember, you always want to cut away from you. Proper scissor safety goes a long way. And try and cut along the lines, but they don't have to be perfect. And remember, if you don't want to use a color paper, you're more than welcome to use white, just computer paper, or, you can use paper from a notebook. But if you have construction paper, you can make it a pink bunny or a blue bunny like I have here, or you could use yellow or brown or black or green or purple or whatever color you could use. Whatever color you have at home, it doesn't matter. Alright, so now that I've cut my paper, I'm going to throw this away and just set it to the side for now. And I'm going to set my pencil to the side. Now before I get rid of my scissors, there's one last thing I want to do. And I want to go where my pinky was and kind of cut out a little bit further down. It's real easy. Just kind of come down, and not too far, but just a little bit extra. There we go. Alright. So now I'm done with my scissors. Now I'm going to take my pinky and my thumb, and I'm going to fold them in. And this is going to make my bunny's front paws. There we go. Easy enough. And now, I lied about my scissors. I'm not finished with them just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this little finger out right here. And I want it to be a little curved or just kind of keep it smooth. There we go. Now I can get rid of that. And now I really am done with my scissors. So now what I need to do is draw my bunny. I need to draw the face and the ears and the feet. So where I'm going to start is up at top of the ears. Just think about these as really long, skinny triangles. And you can kind of curve them at the top. They don't have to be too sharp. There we go. I've got my ears. Now I'm going to draw my face. So with my two bunnies right here, they're kind of happy and smiling. I'm going to give my bunny some eyes on this one. So he's going to have two big old eyes. If you ever see a bunny or a rabbit in real life, they have really big eyes so they can see animals from a really far away. So now I'm going to draw a little nose. It's just like an upside down round triangle. And then I'll put the mouth in, which is just like two J's back against each other. And then I'm going to draw the little whiskers. Now I'm doing this first with pencil, and I'm going to come back with a marker later and draw over top of this. So then I'm going to give my bunny some eyes. And then finally, I'm going to draw two little feet at the bottom. And these are just little round ovals, kind of like little jelly beans. I'm going to draw three little circles up top for my bunny's toes. And then I'm going to draw a little round triangle for the pad of its feet. And there we go. So now I'm going to take my marker and I'm just going to trace over everything that I drew so it's a little bit darker and easier to see. So why I draw it with pencil first is just in case I make a mistake, I can always go back and erase it. And I finalize it all with a marker. That way it's a lot easier to see, especially from further away. My bunny's got some really big eyes. All right, and there we go. I'm done with my marker now. And so the final thing is just to take, I'm using my red color pencil. You can, again, use whatever you want to. If you want to use a marker or crayons or color pencils or paint or whatever. And I'm just going to come in and add some color to my bunny's ears. I'm not coloring real hard with my pencil. I'm just going in real light so it looks a little more pink. And then I'm going to color my bunny's nose a little bit darker so it's a little more red. And then just a little tiny bit in the bottom of the feet on those little pads to make it just look a little pink. And there we go. So now I'm just going to fold the hands back. And there you go. You've got a cute little hand bunny. All done, no problem. All right, so we'll see you on the next project. Hey everybody, so welcome back. Now, for this next project, we're going to be making a paper tube bunny. Now this is going to be really fun and it's really easy. You need a few supplies, and I have them all right here. One of the most important supplies is going to be a paper tube. Now you can use this from paper towels or a toilet paper roll or any kind of cardboard paper tube that you have. Any color will work, and you can paint it if you want, or you can leave it brown just like this. I'm going to leave mine brown for this demo. Next, you'll need some cotton balls, only one, and that'll be for the tail of our bunny. I have some googly eyes right here that I'm going to use for my bunny. Now, if you don't have googly eyes, you can just use a marker, or you can cut out an eyeball out of paper. I need a pencil and a marker so I can know what I'm doing and know what I'm drawing. I need scissors to cut out paper, and I need paper right here. I'm going to use white and pink, and then I need some glue so I can glue everything together. So let's get started. First, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have my little paper tube right here. I'm going to set everything else kind of to the side for right now. And just put it out of the way. So the first thing that I want to do is glue on some eyes for my bunny. Should be easy enough. So I'm going to choose two of my googly eyes. I'm going to have a blue-eyed bunny. And these aren't quite the right size. They aren't the same size as each other, but that's okay. My bunny's got one eye that's bigger than the other. So I'm going to put a little glue on the back of here. And it doesn't take a lot. And I'm just going to glue one eye on. Put a little glue on the back of this eyeball. And put that on right next to my other eye. You can see I got a little bit extra glue on there, but that's okay. Alright, so halfway there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little nose for my bunny. So I'm going to take my pink paper and a pencil. And I'm just going to draw a circle, and I'm going to do it right kind of in the top center of my paper. Pretty big, not too big, a little bigger than my eyes, my googly eyes. Alright, and now I'm just going to take my scissors and cut it out. And remember to always cut away from yourself. You don't want to accidentally cut a finger off. You need all of those that you can get. There we go. So now I've got my little circle cut out. I'm going to put some glue on it. And I'm going to glue the back side that has my pencil so that whenever I put it down, you won't see any of that. There we go. Just a little bit below the eyes. Remember, it's supposed to be a little nose. And now I'm going to take my white paper and I'm going to cut out some little strips. Really thin. And I'm just going to go like this. And cut about 3 long strips. And then I'm going to cut them off like that. There we go. That's pretty good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 little dots right to the side of my nose on one side. And I'm going to take strips of paper and put one end of my paper on each dot. Now I noticed that these strips seem a little long for Whisker, so what I might do is go ahead and just cut them off right about there. So that's about halfway. So there we go, we've got pretty good length. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. I'm going to do 3 little dots of glue. Remember, you don't need a whole lot of glue. And I'm going to put the pieces that I cut off on the other side. And there we go. So now my bunny's got some whiskers, he's got some eyes and a nose. Maybe I'll take my little marker and draw a mouth. And if you watch the video for the little hand bunny, you'll know that it's just a little J and then another J backwards. Well, I guess that would be forwards. So there we go. So now I got my bunny's face. Now the only thing that I'm missing are 2 feet, 2 ears, and a tail. So now, if I want to do the tail, what I'll do is I'll take my white paper again, and I'm going to draw just 2 big old ears, about like that. That might be a little big, but that's okay. And so, instead of having to draw this twice, what I'll do is I'll fold my paper, just like that. And then if I cut out my ear, I'm going to cut both the front and the back piece of that paper. And now, I have 2 ears. There we go. So what I want to do for these ears is I actually want to put in a little bit of pink on the inside so you can see the inside of the ear. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to make these triangles a little bit smaller. Actually, that might be a little too small. Let's see. We'll go a little bit bigger. There we go. How about that? I think that'll do perfect. And remember, I'm going to fold my paper. And only have to cut once. And there we go. So now I've got these 2 smaller triangles, and what I'm going to do with those is glue them on to the white ears. So I'm just going to do a little strip right down the middle. It doesn't take a whole lot. And then I'm going to put it down right there. And right here. And now I've got 2 ears for a bunny. Perfect. Now I just need to put them on my tube. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the front side of this ear, just like that. And I'm going to put it on the inside of this tube and just press it in. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing with this ear. So remember, a little bit of glue at the bottom. And then just press it in there. There we go. Oh yeah, that's starting to look like a bunny, I'd say. So now the last thing we need to do are put on the feet. And that should be really easy. So I'm going to give my bunny pink feet. And since I've already got this folded, I'll just draw it once. And my bunny's feet are going to be big, because bunnies have really big feet, because they're always jumping around. I'm going to give it 3 toes on each foot. There we go. So I'm just going to cut it out again. There we go. I'm going to set my paper aside. So now I've got 2 nice little feet. So now to glue these in, what I'm going to do is go at the back of the foot, right on the heel, and I'm going to fold it up just a little bit. And that's where I'm going to put the glue. So I'm going to do this with my other foot. Remember, fold it up. See just what I have here. And now what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on this folded area. And remember, you don't need a whole lot. And then I'm going to put it in the same way that I put on those ears. Just like that. And if you need to fold it up a little bit more, you can do that. I don't know if mine's folded up enough. So I'll just refold it a little bit more. Have shorter feet, but they're still pretty big. Put a little bit of glue on. And then just press it down. There we go. That's a little bit better. So one foot. And glue. And then fold it on there, just like so. Press it. And there we go. We've got a big-footed, big-eared bunny. Now for the final touch, I'm going to take my little cotton ball, and instead of putting glue on the cotton ball, oh no, I lost a foot. Let's see. There we go. What I'm going to do is, on the back side of the bunny at the bottom, I'm just going to put a little dot of glue and put my cotton ball on the back and just press it on there for a few seconds. And there we go. Look at that. We got a little paper tube bunny, and it took no time with a little cotton tail. Isn't that so cute? There you go. So, I hope you enjoyed the paper tube bunny, and I'll see you back for the next one. Hey everyone, so for this last project, we're going to be making a bunny mask with a paper plate and some paper and a few other little things around the house. I have all the lists of supplies right here in front of me. So first off, you'll need a paper plate. You'll need some paper. I have some pink and white paper, and we'll be using this to make whiskers and ears. You'll need some glue, a pencil, some cotton balls for a nose, and a quarter. Now, you don't have to use a quarter. What I'm going to be using this is to make some little holes for my eyes in the mask. And you can use anything that's, a circle. It could be maybe even, one of these paper tubes that we had. You can just set that down and draw a circle around it, or anything else that's circular. And I'll show you what we're going to be doing with that later. So, to start off, well, we'll also need a pair of scissors too. And to start off, what we're going to do is we're going to cut our paper plate in half. Now this paper plate has a little design on the inside, but that's okay. We're going to be using the outside anyways. So I'm just going to cut this plate right down the middle. There we go. I'm going to get rid of this. And now, this is going to be the front of our mask. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to take my little quarter, or whatever you want to use, and kind of close to the top, I'm just going to draw a circle right here. And another one off to the next side. So these are going to be my two eye holes. Now if you have some problems with your paper plate not staying in place, that's okay. Just eyeball it. Alright, so whenever I'm done that, I'll have my two holes. It's kind of hard to see, but they're both there. Now what I'm going to do is take my scissors and I'm going to cut out these holes on the inside. Now, the way we're going to do this is I'm going to take one end of my scissors and kind of point it in the middle and just twist a little bit. And I'll make a little bit of a mark. Make sure you don't poke yourself. There we go. And now I'm just going to go and cut through here. Make sure if you're using sharp scissors, you get a help from an adult. You don't want to cut your fingers off. You need all of those. So now I'm just going to kind of go around and try and cut this as best as I can. It doesn't need to be too perfect. We can come back and clean it up in a little bit. There we go. All right, that's one eye hole. That's pretty good. And the next one, I'm just gonna do the same thing. Try and poke a little bit in there. There we go. And then just start cutting and try and stay as close to those lines as possible. Again, you know, if you're not quite right on it, that's okay too. So long as you can see out these little holes. That's what they're there for. All right, there we go. So I've got my 2 eye holes. And while I've still got my scissors out, what I'll do next is I'll make my ears and I'll make my whiskers. So to make my ears, I'm going to take my white piece of paper. I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm just going to draw my ear design. Now I want this to be pretty big. Bunnies have pretty big ears. And I want my ears to be kind of curved at the top instead of straight and pointy. But you can do whatever ear you like. I think that'll be good right there. Now I'm just drawing one ear. And since my paper's folded, I'm going to cut this out. And when I cut it out, I'm going to cut 2 at once. So I'm just cutting along this line. And again, you know, design your ears however you want them to be. They can be long and pointy. They can be short and round. They can be 2 different sizes and 2 different shapes. You can have 3 ears if you want. You're going to be an alien bunny. And one reason bunnies have such long ears is because they have really good hearing. Bunnies are prey animals. And they need to hear, you know, any kind of animal coming up to eat them. All right, so next I'll be taking some pink paper. Now I've already used this once, but that's okay. And I'm going to do the same thing, except now I'm going to make the inside of my ear. So I'm going to do similar to what I did. I'm going to fold it a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to say, I want the inside of the ear to come to right about, almost to the top, but not quite. There we go. So that's about, starts at the bottom right here, and it'll go right to just about there. Just a little, almost all the way. So I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm just going to cut this out of 2 pieces of paper at once. And remember, try not to cut yourself. Be really careful when you always have scissors or anything sharp. Okay, so now I've got my 2 little pink parts and my 2 white ears. So now I'm just going to glue them both together. And you'll know, if you notice, you know, this is where I have my pencil drawn on that pink paper. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put the glue on that part of the paper. And you just need 1 line. You don't need too much. And then whenever I put it down, you won't be able to see my pencil marks. And there we go. That's 1 ear. I got a little glue on my table. That's okay. All right. And the same thing with this ear. Just 1 line all the way down. It doesn't need to be a whole lot of glue. Alright, and just rub your finger down there to get all that glue spread out on the paper. There we go, I got 2 beautiful bunny ears. So now, what I want to do to glue these on there, is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down here, just right a little strip. Again, you don't need a whole lot. Same thing with this one. And I'm just going to put it on the back, right there. Now you can have your ears right next to each other or a little spread out. It's however you want your mask to be. And then I'm going to take this one. Remember, I put glue right here at the bottom. And I'm just going to put it right on this little round edge, this little ridge of the plate. There we go. Now I'm going to leave that to dry for just right now. And while we're waiting on that to dry up a little bit, I'm going to make my whiskers. So I'm going to take my white paper again, and I want my whiskers to be really, really long. Rabbits have really long whiskers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go along the short side. Remember, this is folded up. There we go. And I'm just going to cut out some really long strips of paper. And actually, I'm going to use pink so you can see it a little bit better. Let's see. Here we go. I always like to reuse paper that I've already cut before. You know, I don't like to waste anything if I don't have to. And I'm just going to cut some really long strips. These are maybe about 1/3 of an inch long. Or wide, excuse me. There we go. And if these aren't all the same size, that's okay. I know this one right here that I'm about to cut is a little bit thinner, but that's okay. All right, and you know what? I think that might actually be good for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these in half. This is kind of like how we did the whiskers for our little paper tube bunny. There we go. I'm going to cut them right about in the middle. So then I'm going to take my mask and turn it back the way it should be. There we go. And what I'm going to do is put a little dot or a little line of glue, kind of like a little glob right here under the left eye or the right eye. And then I'm just going to put my whiskers one end on that. There we go. You can always put a little bit more glue on there if you need. Remember, it's a lot easier to put more glue on than take glue off. So make sure you don't glob it all on there. Next thing you know, you'll have glue everywhere. It'll be a big mess. You don't want that. Alright, so I'm just putting another little bit of glue right here, and I'm going to do the same thing. Alright, I think these are going to be looking like some real nice whiskers. What do you think? There we go. Alright, there we go. So I've got my whiskers on. Now the last thing I need is to do a little nose. And that's where the cotton balls come in. So I'm going to put one more little glob of glue right in between my whiskers. And I'm going to take one of my cotton balls and just stick it right on there. And I'm just going to press it down and hold it for a few seconds. Oh yeah, that's a nice looking mask. And there we go. We're all good to go. Now, there's a couple ways you can finish this. You can cut some little holes out on the sides of your mask, kind of right here, right in the back, and tie some string. You can take a popsicle stick and glue it to the side and use it as like a holding mask. But I'm just going to leave mine like it is right now. I think I might put some string in it a little bit later, but I don't have any right now. So this is how you do your mask, and however you want to finish it is up to you. You can glue it onto a bucket and put it on top of your head, or put some string on it, use a popsicle stick. If you already have a mask, you can tie it on there, however you want to.